Hour with Crowder with me, your host Crowder. Like, share, subscribe, and comment. If you're already a subscriber, go ahead and ding the bell so that you can get all of my latest podcast interviews every Tuesday. Today we got yet another good-ass guest, Kwaylon Crowder. You gotta be giving yourself claps.
Give myself a clap.
Man, well, you already know, and of course the audience already know. I know you. But could you tell us a little bit about what you do, who you are, why you picked real estate, all of that good stuff?
Okay, so my name is Kwaylon Crowder. As you know, I got the same last name as An Hour with Crowder. Shakoya is
He
my
does not
sister.
own this.
I don't own it, but we are brothers and sisters. I got into real estate originally back in like 2008, 2009, but then the market was going in a bad, direction. So what I chose to do is I chose to get out, and pursue something else. I got back into real estate around 2016, and it just pretty much took off from there. Keller Williams is my brokerage, but I've started my own group, the Crowder Realty Group. Wonderful group. This Crowder last name is taken off these last couple of years. But I own and operate the Crowder Realty Group. I am recruiting for individuals that, want to do real estate, want to get into the market. But what made me want to get into real estate is I seen that there was a lot of individuals not like us, per se. I'm not racist nowhere, far-fetched from it, but I just seen that there was a lot of individuals that felt like they couldn't go and talk to a certain individual because maybe they were of a different color or they was of a different race. So I got into it because I wanted to empower as well as give the knowledge to not just our people, all people. Individuals, a lot of realtors won't work with an individual that has credit problems or, is too far from the mark, or they don't know what they want, or they don't know what they need. So I got into the business because I help all individuals. If you 2 years off from getting a home, I'm going to carry you the whole way. A business transaction is a business transaction, but it's not just about a business transaction. I know all of the people that I helped. I know them by name. They're just not a business transaction. They turned into either friends or they turned into family. So that was mainly the reason why I got into it. But also, I'm a house individual. Going and looking at homes, going and, remodeling or, revamping or flipping homes is a passion of mine. So, I had a career, which a lot of people know that I worked for DART. I did that for, 9 years. It made a lot of money, but I wasn't happy.
Your back hurt, don't it?
Yeah, it's bad. Transportation is not for everybody. But I did that for 9 years while doing real estate as well, and this is just a passion. I wake up in the morning, I'm happy. By the time I go to sleep at night, I'm happy as well. So, it's just a wonderful thing that I choose to do.
Well, I do have a couple of questions. Where's the real estate business heading for 2021? We see a lot of stuff shutting down with the corona, and some things are picking up, but where exactly and I asked the realtor this back in 2020, and he was like, it ain't going nowhere. But according to Express.com, they predicted that it was going to drop 6% in the market. Is that a good thing for realtors or a bad thing for realtors?
I think it depends on your business. I think it depends on, if you know what you're doing or you don't know what you're doing. I use the word empower. To empower an individual is to let them know what's going on. A lot of individuals the market projected that individuals projected that the market was going to drop. And the market didn't drop. When COVID hit, the interest rate dropped significantly. So we sold so many homes in 2020, it was unreal. And it's only going to go in a better direction in 2021. My wife is in the mortgage industry, so sometimes we'll pair together. She'll, I'll send people her way. She'll send them to other individuals that she worked for. But there was a lot of people that thought we wasn't going to sell, anything, that we was going to be out of money, that we was going to be out of a job, that we was going to be out of a career, and that didn't happen. This 2020 ended on a good note for a lot of individuals. There were so many homes that were sold in 2020, and the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, which are government loan entities, they gave out so much money it was unreal. You went from the major, or should I say, the minor interest rate of being 4.2, 4.3 to where now the interest rate is like 2.1. So, for lack of better words, you're getting a hell of a deal. You got some individuals that was refinancing their home because the interest rate dropped so significantly. So to answer your question, going into 2021, people are ready. I have individuals that's in my pipeline that I just told them, like, hey, you got credit issues, let's get your credit issues together, but 2021 is your year. So I got some individuals that I know for a fact is buying a dream home this year. So it's going in a great place.
So with that being said, okay, so you said that the interest rate dropped down to 2.1. Is that because you guys work off of commission of the houses that y'all sell? Is that a good thing for you guys? Or is that like,
Well, the interest rate of the individual is going to get on their house has nothing to do with how we get paid.
How does that work? Because I think, myself included, is like we don't understand like how y'all actually get paid.
Okay, so I mean typically we get paid off of the sales price of the home. Okay. So let's use
low numbers.
Yeah, let's use low interest in numbers. We're gonna say that you purchase a home for $100,000. Okay, typically the buyer's agent, which I would be your agent helping you find a home, I would get paid 3% off of it. That's if I was a regular sales agent, okay? And then on the seller side, say for instance, your tech guy selling his house, okay? He's gonna have an agent, so that agent has to get paid, and they would get 3%. So altogether, it would be a total of 6% that the seller would end up paying whenever he or she sells the house. So your tech guy's selling his house, so he would end up paying the amount for both sides, okay? The seller always pays the commission. That's just all it is to it. Some people get that confused. Well, will the buyer do this? Or the seller always pays unless you can negotiate something differently, but 95% of the time the seller is going to pay. So what'll happen is I'll take 3%, and then the seller's agent will take 3%. So there's a total of, out of $100,000, there's a total of $6,000 that's going to come out of there. So then I would end up getting $3,000, and then the other person would end up getting $3,000. But I mean, typically, even though we're using low numbers, and there's not a lot of houses that's out there that's $100,000.
That's $100,000.
So you're talking about $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 homes. So then what happens is the number is greatly significant. So the average, for those who probably want to get into real estate, the average commission that you're going to see is going to be between $7,000 and $8,000 on each deal.
Now, what about, because according to realestateus.com, they're saying that the people that have been struggling with, rent and everything, and their home mortgages and stuff will continue to suffer in 2021. And so how do you feel about that? Is that something that you see whenever you're selling houses, or you see people trying to pay their mortgage and stuff due to COVID?
Well, I mean, again, I will go back to, I think it all depends on who you deal with. I mean, who you work with. I mean, work with an agent or work with a realtor or work with a company that knows exactly, what's going on. With the individuals that I work with, I mean, you're getting a premium service. That's just all it is to it. I'm going to tell you what your taxes is. I'm going to tell you what your exemptions is. I'm going to give you the options in the event that you get into, a bad situation. Nobody predicted COVID. So the thing is before COVID, it was, hey, say for instance you lose your job. How long do you have before you're going to go into a foreclosure status? I'm going to give you all of that information. I'm going to give you places, and I'm going to give you websites and locations that you can go to, and you can pretty much get that help. Now, the second end of that, to answer your question, is there's going to be some individuals that's going to suffer, but it's because of the unknown. And the reason why is that is because they don't know where to go to get, rental help or to get mortgage help or to get, the resources that they need in order to get their mortgage taken care of or their rent taken care of. And then in lieu of everything that's going on with the government, then the thing is like, you're up one day and then you're down the next day. You see what I'm saying? I don't really get into the politics with individuals because that's not a part of my job. But the thing is, with the new president coming in, check into what he's going to put on the table, whether or not you like him or not. If it's going to help you get out of a bad situation, it's great that it's a good thing to take advantage of those resources. So, like I said, some people are going to suffer, but I don't think that people should have to suffer because there are other game plans that you can, pretty much feed into and resources out there that'll help you out. So therefore you don't have to go into foreclosure.
What are some of the procedures that you make sure that your clients don't go into that foreclosure state?
Well, mainly when trying to find a house, I tell all people, know your numbers. If you don't know your numbers, it's okay. Because a lot of people don't know their numbers. You get a bill in the mail and you like, oh God, Lee, like I done got a bill and it said it went to collections and I don't know what my credit score is. We get scared to look at our credit score because we just looking at it like, dang, like if I look at it, I'm going to go into straight panic mode. A lot of individuals don't know their numbers, but I team with a lot of individuals. I got credit restoration individuals. I got lenders. I have a group of individuals that we work closely together to make sure that everybody knows where they're supposed to be at. So the thing is I tell all people also, when it comes to buying a house, don't run and go and spend. If you got $25,000 in the bank, don't let those people tell you that you need $25,000 to put down because the majority of the time that's not the truth. Majority of the time you only need 3% or 3.5% or you only need a certain percentage. So to make sure you don't get into that bad situation, don't go and put your whole $25,000 down and then now you're working from the ground up again. You want to make sure that you put enough money down and then you still want to have a reserve. That's the major thing. A lot of people just want to spend money because they want to get into that home. But they're not paying attention to, okay, once I get into the home, I still got to buy furniture. I still got to buy food. I still got to take care of these kids. I still got to do, some other things. So mainly what I try to tell my clients is when you purchase a home, at least try to have 3 months of mortgage payments in the bank. That way, in the event something happens, if you got that hustle mentality, you lose a job today, hopefully you can get you one in a month. But at least you can pay your mortgage. Yeah. So don't go broke just trying to purchase a home.
Yeah. Okay, so black people are getting into home ownership, but most black people aren't financially stable enough to put a huge down payment or even enough money saved up to even be thinking about a house. Right. So what are some of the ways that middle class or close to lower middle class people can do to get that procedure started into getting into a house?
Okay, so like I said just a minute ago, you got to know your numbers. Okay, you got to know exactly where you're at. And if you don't know exactly where you are, then, contact me. And if it's something that I don't know, I can get you in contact with somebody. I got Justin Murch. He's a vendor. He is with Creative Credit Solutions. He owns that company. And then I have another one, Peyton Jackson. She's with Marco Scoling. I send those, my clients over there to them if they don't know exactly where their credit is or if they're having credit issues to get the process started. So a lot of individuals don't know that there are down payment assistance programs out there. I have a lot of clients that don't put any money down. It just depends on where you at. You can be a first-time home buyer. You can be a teacher. You can be a military individual. You can be a police officer, an EMS, or a firefighter. Those type of individuals qualify for what they call an exemption that'll help you not put any money down. But say, for instance, you're not in that career field, you can still get no money down if you're a first-time home buyer or if you fit into a certain criteria. But like I told you just a minute ago, like let's say, for instance, you go, FHA. FHA is a program through the government, like through Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac and things of that nature, that will only require you to put, like we just talked about a minute ago, 3% down. Let's use the same $100,000 home. you're only gonna put $3,000 down. Like I got a post going on now that got a lot of, not backlash, but we got a lot of conversation going behind it. My post was, this income tax season is around. What are you going to do with your income tax check that's going to go ahead and invest in your future? Instead of us blowing it on clothes and shoes, and then you can have clothes and shoes on all day long but not have a place to stay, I call that reverse balling is what I'm saying.
Reverse balling.
Like, you got clothes and shoes but you don't have a place to stay.
It's equivalent to the dude with Jordans on the bus.
Yeah, investing your future to where you can have a place to stay, because it's not, a lot of people don't understand the term investing your future when it comes to a home. And what I mean by that is you get a lot of subsidies when you purchase a home. You're going to get exemption on your income taxes that first year, which they give you money back for purchasing a home. I don't know if it changed. That's on the mortgage side, but originally they was giving out $8,000 for the first year that you bought a home. But then secondly, in the event you get into a bad situation, like we were saying, say for instance you lose your job or something, your home builds equity. So if you need to take out a loan, or if you need to take out, some money against the home, then you can, and you can use it to get by, is what I'm saying. This is something that you're creating a small business almost to a certain extent within yourself. A lot of times when you purchase a home, if your credit score drops after you purchase a home, you can go and get a car. As long as they see that you got the collateral, you can have a 430 on a credit score, and they'll still give you a brand new car, because they look at it like, one, we know where you stay. We can come and pick that junk up from the house if we, or secondly, we know that you have some collateral to where if we got to take out a lien here or something, then they will. Those are the negatives. Hopefully nobody ever gets to that situation. But, you to get that process started, know your numbers. And if you don't know your numbers, then like I said, call me. I can get you in contact with somebody, and then they can tell you where you need to be. And then like I said, once we get you where you need to be, then we can get the process started. But also in getting your numbers together, start saving. A lot of people, we see money and we're like, we got it. Like you said middle class and you said lower class. A lot of times, lower class and middle class, when they get the money, they're in so much of a shamble that they have no choice but to spend the money. They're behind on this or they're behind on that. But you got to create some restraints to a certain extent. It don't matter if it's $50 here. It don't matter if it's $100 there. Put it in a savings account. Put it underneath the mattress. Give it to somebody you trust, that you know that when you go and ask them, they're going to say, well, look, no, I ain't giving you this money. I know it's yours, but I'm going to hold on to it because you want to do something with it. And then once you get to that level of where you need, as far as the amount that you need for a down payment, then you already have the money, and then you don't have to scramble to try to get it, and then you're not running up against opposition.
Yeah. I mean, people think that saving is like a big deal.
Right.
Like you just said, I don't care if it's $10. Put something back. We have a huge, especially and that's because we learned it from our parents.
Right.
Mostly, is that we have this thing about spending money when we get it instead of putting it away. And it's mainly because, like you said, for one, you're already in shambles.
Yeah.
But for two, it's like we learned that habit from our parents,
right.
them spending money, but we didn't know that they were spending money like that because they had to.
Right.
But now we spend it because we think that that's what it is, but it really wasn't because of that reason.
Yeah.
They just needed to spend it.
No,
but now we have, enough rights and enough money and enough knowledge to go get these big time jobs
right.
or a job that pays pretty decent, and then we don't save anything. And I tell people, I didn't start off right here at this point of me having all this money in my savings account.
Right.
It started when I was younger, just putting back something, just a little bit. Like when I used to work at KFC, I didn't make nothing but $275 every other week, but I had to budget. And I think that's where it's missing in our community.
Yeah.
It's the budgeting skills. We don't understand how budgeting works when we do it every day.
Yeah.
Even when you do your bills for the month. You need this, and this, and this. What I do is I calculate all my bills for the month.
Right.
And then I calculate what I make for the month. And then what I have left, I divide it by 4. That's what you can spend a week shaking.
No, that's true.
That's what you can spend.
No, that's true.
And we don't have that anymore.
No, that's true.
What do you think about Gen X? Because it's predicted that Gen X isn't having kids like we was. One of the major reasons of why someone buys a home is because they have kids and you can't be in an apartment anymore.
Right.
No. So because Gen X isn't having kids like that, do you think that it's still beneficial for them to have a house if they don't have kids? I mean, your one person house is 3 bedrooms at the least.
Right. That's where the market is kind of going. So this Gen X generation is getting to the point to where they are realizing the worth of their money. Okay, so I mean, you got some of them that's out there that's weird, but you know, every generation is weird. But they're seeing the worth of the money, and they're looking at it like, why would I keep paying, you know, somebody else's bills, or why would I keep, you know, making somebody else rich when, you know, I can help myself out? But the worth of it is, and you know, it's a pick a pack for everybody. Everybody is different. But say for instance, like yourself. You don't have any kids, okay? If you wanted to purchase a home and you felt comfortable that depending on the layout or the make of the home, you could say, you know what, look, I'm going to purchase this home and my mortgage is, we're going to use another round number, $1,500, you know, a month. That's my mortgage. And I'm going to speak on that in a minute because the mortgage is a hell of a whole lot better than paying rent, okay? And we'll talk about those numbers in a minute. But let's say you got $1,500 that you pay in mortgage, but you feel comfortable renting your other 2 rooms out. The Gen X generation is getting to the point to where they're looking at it like, how do I make money, you know, with the investment that I put in place? You can have that $1,500 mortgage and you can rent your room out, because what is most rent for a 1-bedroom apartment? $650?
Like 8.
Yeah, okay, so let's use that number is what I'm saying. So say for instance you rent one room out for $8 and you rent the other room out for $8. You just made your monthly mortgage payment and you just profited $100. So all the money that you making, you're not spending your money on anything, is what I'm saying. You just putting it, you know, back, and you just saving, and you pretty much good. Well, what is the average length of a lease? About a year. Okay, so then after a year, then say for instance, we're gonna use me for an example. Say for instance, I move out. Well, you're gonna put an ad in the newspaper, and then you're gonna get you another individual that's gonna come and stay. Or I could say I want to stay for another year and continue to go on, because we may live together good. But the thing is if you do that, you have never made a mortgage payment whatsoever. Someone else has made the mortgage payment for you. But then also what I see with the Gen X generation is they're not running to get a 3-bedroom, you know, house. They're going to get like a 2-bedroom loft or a condo or something like those. You still own. They're not going to get an apartment.
Really?
Yeah, a condo or
a loft?
Or a loft. Yeah, you
I
own
didn't know
those.
that.
Yeah. So you got condos and you got lofts and you got homes. And you got beachfronts. Then you got lakefront. All of that you end up owning. Like you put a mortgage on it and it'll end up being yours when you're done for it. Apartments is the only thing that you wouldn't end up owning.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get away from. I said the next time I move house,
right,
I'm not doing an apartment, because like you said, like you making somebody else rich for something that you ain't even ever gonna own.
No,
they're never
true.
Gonna give it to you.
That's true.
That's it. That's it. You just wasted a year's worth of rent on something that you're not close to even owning.
Right.
When you could have put that money, because what is it, rent $850? You can go negotiate with somebody about a house for $1,000 a month.
No, that's true.
And then you know you 1 year closer to owning that home.
Right.
But I do want to get into HUD houses.
Okay.
What is the thing with HUD houses? Because I've done a little bit of research on it, but you know, people, we don't be reading like that. So what is the benefits of a HUD home?
Okay, so
and what is a HUD home?
So like we was talking about just a moment ago, when it comes to the perks and the subsidies of, say for instance, you don't have any money to put down. Say for instance, you move into a rural community, and what they are considering rural, let me clear up the misconception. A lot of individuals think rural is, oh, you want to move me out to the country. No.
Yeah.
Like, you're not getting moved out to the country. Let's use Red Oak for an example. Red Oak in the last 10 years has come up, you know, it's a major city. Everybody
it's
knows.
like by Waxahachie.
Right, so everybody knows about Red Oak, but the thing is that they consider anything rural as a new city that is being developed, is what I'm saying. Red Oak is not far from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. Well,
yeah, it's like close
Dallas.
to Cedar Hill.
Yeah.
If you wanted to say something that's close.
Right. So from Cedar Hill is about 7 minutes. Okay. So the thing is but originally when they was building, rural, they consider anything under 15% built. Okay. So with HUD, they have many different programs that we wouldn't have the time to just go over all of today, but I'll just give you like the gist of. You can participate in a certain amount of the build, and if you help them, that's going in and hitting the hammer a couple of times, screwing, the outlets in or whatever. They're not going to make you do any major work. They don't want you to get hurt, but they want you to participate in the build. You participate in the build, then that's the only requirement that they have, and I think it's 30% of the build. Then the thing is you came out. To put it in bad terms, they look at it like, well, we got some cheap labor out of you. You see what I'm saying?
It's like an incentive to help
get
them
your
build.
home together. Okay, so then what you're doing is you're helping build a new community. So you help with the build of your home, and then when you help with the build of your home, then like I said, they finish the other 70%, and then you've done your part, and you've pretty much moved in. But there are certain other requirements that you have to meet. They're minor requirements, is what I'm saying. Staying within a certain budget, showing them that you're saving, showing them that you could, prevent from impost spending, things of that nature. But also when it comes to the rural homes I don't know about everybody else, but I wouldn't mind staying in a community where for the time being, I ain't got a lot of neighbors. Like, I ain't got to deal with, a lot of individuals, nosy this and nosy that. Not saying that I don't like neighbors. I'm just saying, like, to know, kind of like, I don't know what that movie was, Friday, when they said that I'm the only one on the block for a while. I wouldn't have a problem.
Uncle Elroy.
Yeah, I wouldn't have a problem, doing that, to help me get into a home if that's what it was needed. If I need to, some help getting into a home, then what people have to also understand is stop being scared to ask. Like, it's not a bad thing.
Or just stop being lazy.
Yeah.
Most of the stuff is public knowledge. You can literally go online right now and type in HUD homes and figure out everything that you need to figure out. But we rather wait until we get into that situation to start looking for something that might benefit us. When we could have looked for that way long time ago.
No, and what I'm saying is that I don't want to, offend anybody, but the thing is there's nothing wrong with asking a question. Like, hey, how do I get to this, or how do I get there, or, what resources is out here, for me? And that's the reason why you got to pick up the phone and you got to give me a call. I will give you the information by all means necessary. If you want a home this year in 2021, even if you don't think you're going to be able to make it in 2021 and you're going to have to wait until 2022, if you don't know, pick up the phone, give me a call. I'll let you know exactly how you need to do it.
How do you feel about Section 8 homes? Section 8 and Section 8 placement?
I don't feel like it's a bad thing for individuals that need it. Like I said, some individuals, they just in over their head. I mean, there's just nothing that you can do about it, is what I'm saying. Like, maybe they didn't got into a bad situation. Maybe they're older. Maybe they have a number of kids. It could be male or female. I see it in the industry that, I'm not going to put it on just one particular side. It's not always that it's a bunch of females that got a whole bunch of kids. It's some males that got a whole bunch of kids and the woman walked off on them, is what I'm saying. So,
or that they just had a lot of kids and now it's child support, and child support is real. Like,
no, it is.
A lot of it goes to the first baby mama, but then after that, after so many, and then they take that directly out your check, and before you know it, you only got $200 a week to spend, and that's only rent.
That is true. But that's a different episode as well. So, but we're not gonna get into that because really, to tell you the truth, I can help some fathers out there that, for those, outrageous baby mamas that want to try to do this and do that, you got to also know your position in life to, stop some of that, and you can lower some of that. It's a lot of guys don't want to, or females, because I see it on females too, don't want to go down there to the courthouse and don't want to open up their mouth about certain things. You don't let nobody just drag you through the ringer, but that's a different episode. We're not going to speak on that. But Section 8, I think that if you need it and you got it and they give you a voucher, use it. Like, again, it's a subsidy, is what I'm saying. With real estate, we help with buying, we help with selling, we help with investment, we help with renting, all of that. I do it all, okay? And I don't just do it for the Dallas-Fort Worth area. I am licensed to do it for the whole state, the whole state of Texas. And you want to move from here to Houston, I'm going to help you out. And if I don't know the area, then I'm going to get you in contact with somebody that does know the area, is what I'm saying. So the thing is if you have that voucher, use it. A lot of individuals, I was working with a guy about a year ago, and I don't want to put him on Front Street, but the thing is he had the voucher and he never used it. He sat on it for 6 months and waited until 3 weeks before it was time for him to move, and then he didn't want to use. I mean, he wanted to use it then. The process of trying to find a Section 8 home takes almost about a month for them to get everything together, because they got to come inspect it, they got to come and look at it, you got to send the application back, they got to come out, they got to do some other stuff, they got to interview you again. So that's a month. So if you get those Section 8 vouchers, you guys use the Section 8 vouchers. That's apartments, that's anything. I can help you find apartments. It don't have to be a home. It can be an apartment, it can be a condo, it can be a lot. Any living dwellings I can help you with.
See, that's my thing. I agree with Section 8. I watched this documentary. Let me just start from the beginning. I watched this documentary, and it was shot here in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And one of the reasons with Section 8 vouchers is that a lot of these places, like apartments, do not take them.
Right.
They don't take the Section 8 voucher for whatever reason. It's guaranteed government money. I don't understand why they don't.
Yeah.
But they don't, and one of the reasons is because they think that it attracts poor people, which brings the property value of their living establishment down.
Right.
Because we're in Section 8 apartments in the hood.
That's true.
So, but then you don't want your kids living in the hood.
Yeah.
You want your kids to live somewhere nice. So you try to go to these nice apartments, and they won't take it. And it's not that they don't want to take it, because nobody's going to turn down free money. Which that's basically what a Section 8 voucher is. Free money. Right. You're going to get it every time. It don't matter if it's snowing. It don't matter if whatever. It's on time. It's guaranteed. But these places will not take it, and that's one of the reasons that they will not take it, because they think that Section 8 vouchers attract poor black people.
Well, I mean, I'll say this, and I do a lot of interviews, but I forgot where I was at. So, we can talk real here. A lot of the times, a lot of people don't want to accept the Section 8 vouchers because they look at it like, and I'm going to be upfront, they look at it like, if you're bringing a Section 8 voucher, you're bringing a bunch of kids. That's what they look at, okay? If we're just being realistic, that's what they see. They see Section 8, oh, this person must have tons of kids and they're not responsible and they can't go and work and they can't do this. Well, a ton of kids, in their mind is, this is my investment. I'm renting this home out. Or even like you said with the apartment, what is this apartment going to look like whenever they give it back to me? You see what I'm saying? That is the main reason why. And then the reason why you only see Section 8 in certain lower classes, because I will debunk the myth that they're not just in lower class. Like, don't get me wrong. I mean, you got Section 8 acceptable places in Garland and Forney and Mesquite and Rowlett and Rockwall. A lot of people just don't know about it. And then we go back to what we were saying just a minute ago. I mean, well, it was your words of being lazy. You cannot be lazy. Like, they tell you, these areas that you can go and stay in. But the thing is with Section 8, they want you to do the work, and you should do the work. If they're going to give you the money, then you need to go and look for those individual or those places where you can pretty much stay. But a lot of people don't want to go and look. They just go in. This is the main conception, and this is what I see all the time. I got my Section 8 voucher. I know exactly where I'm going to stay. And the reason why they know where they're going to go and stay, because they're going to go and stay with other individuals that they know that's on Section 8 that already have a place, is what I'm saying. Why would you want to go to the same place that so-and-so stay, or that if you didn't hear negative stuff, that they don't come and fix stuff, or they don't come and do this, or they don't come and do that. Like you said, it's free money, it's on time. So those apartment dwellings, they look at it like, I mean, if they put in a maintenance request, we'll get to it whenever we get to it. But we still don't get paid. So I can see the positive, but I can also see the negative in it. If you're looking for a place to stay and I'm not saying people that's on Section 8 are bad individuals, because they're not. We just established that. It's some people that, need help. Take the time to do the research. Find you a legitimate living dwelling to where you and your kids, or even if you don't have kids, that's another myth that a lot of people think, that a lot of people that's on Section 8, they got kids. There's a lot of individuals that's out there that's on Section 8 that don't have children at all. There's individuals that's older that they're on Section 8 because they didn't got to the brink of where they're at, and maybe what they made back in the 60s and 70s, they weren't making a lot of money, so now what they're getting in Social Security is not enough to afford a place to stay. So Section 8 is helping them out with the remainder. So the thing is just try to go and find, a good place, and if push come to shove, if you don't like Section 8, then do something else about it.
Do something about it.
Yeah, if you don't like the terms and the perks of Section 8, then go and do something else about it. That's the only thing I can say about it.
Basically, did you know that like Section 8 and everything like that? Well, the name has changed, but the ghettos, that's where black people or lower class people was, put or whatever, and that's a German engineered experiment.
No, I didn't know.
Yeah, it was originally a German engineered experiment to see what poor people would do if they was all together, and we stifled the resources out and that's what I think about Section 8. I think if it's Section 8 just because it's Section 8,
yeah,
it ain't gotta look raggedy.
Right.
It ain't gotta be raggedy. Why gotta be raggedy in the hood? And that's predominantly where these Section 8 houses are, because the really good ones that you're talking about are all taken.
No, right.
So it's like once you do get your voucher, then it's in the hood, and you trying to escape the hood, because the hood is the one that made you be this way in the first place, and you're trying to get out of it, and that's where I got from this documentary. That's why I brought it up. Yeah. And then you're stuck back in the hood,
right?
And you're away from all of the resources that you need,
right?
It was originally a German socially engineered experiment.
Okay.
In the beginning.
Well, this is what I say, and this has nothing really to do with real estate. It has something to do with the mindset of human beings. I look at it like what your past is shouldn't have to be your present and your future. So if it was a German engineered, process, and you know about it, not meaning you, because I know you're not on Section 8, but I'm just saying, if you know about it and you don't want to be a part of that, what are you going to do to change it? That's my thing. And like I said a minute ago about debunking the myths of that, it's only black people that's on Section 8, or it's only, poor people. There's all types of races that I see that's on, Section 8. So, nobody should pull the race card that it's just only black individuals, or it's just only, individuals that's missing their 2 front teeth, or this or that. You see what I'm saying? It's all individual, all types from all different walks of life that's on, Section 8. But the thing is what are you going to do to change it to where you don't fit that mold? I'm not saying that the mold is bad, but it's even kind of like with me starting the business, okay? I got tired of, like we joked earlier about my back hurting. I had back surgery in 2019. I had disc replacement because of transportation. I had worked so many years doing transportation. Before I did DART, I drove trucks for a long time. So I got to the point to where I was tired of doing the same thing over and over again. I worked for an individual. They told me what to do, how to do it, when to come, when to leave, all of that.
When to go on vacation.
That's what I'm saying. And then the thing is you put in vacation and they tell you it might not be approved.
Yeah, it might not even be approved. You got the time and it ain't even approved.
So, you have to be able to change your mindset to say, you know what, I don't want to continue to do the same things that I'm doing. Now, I'm not going to lie to you. Everybody does not have it. That don't make you less of a person. It's a lot of hardships that comes behind starting a business or starting something. Like we stated at first, you my sister. So I seen this dream of yours prosper from nothing to where it is now. is what I'm saying. Me and my wife was just talking the other day that I was like, Lee, like she got somebody that she interviewing every week, and it's like, and then I come to find out it's not just one person every week, it's 2, 3, 4, 5 people every week. But I remember when it started from the bottom and there was nobody, is what I'm saying. Now you got individuals that's trying to run through the door to be interviewed. So it takes some time and it takes some effort, but then that's what I'm saying. You can't be lazy behind it, and then you gotta have that ingenuity behind you that you want to make it happen by all means necessary. I'm not letting anybody stop me, and that's just all it is to it. So with the group that I started, like I stated, I'm recruiting. I got some individuals that I already have in school that's gonna come out and they gonna come and work. I'm trying to get to a point to where whether or not a person wants me to be their household name or not, it ain't for you. I don't care nothing about that, is what I'm saying. I'm going to be a household name regardless of what it is. If you don't like me, that's too bad. There's other realtors out there that you can work with. But for the ones that do want to work with me, they do want to get to a certain place, they want the knowledge, because that's what I'm giving. I'm not just giving, hey, I can help you buy a home or I can help sell your home. There is knowledge behind it. How do you get to that certain point? Who can you put me in contact with? That's what I'm going to do. So, like I said, you got to change the mindset. You can't just continue to have the same mindset.
Exactly. Foreclosure homes. Why are people so scared to buy foreclosure homes?
Because they have got the incorrect information about a foreclosed home. Foreclosure in people's mind. Let me ask you the question. What do you think a foreclosure home is?
That they tow up and abandon.
Exactly. That's what people think about foreclosed homes. And that's not what it is. What a foreclosed home is, we're going to use the same $100,000 home that you bought. Player home. 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, got a nice backyard, all of that. As soon as you bought your home, you lost your job. After you lost your job, you didn't have a job for 6 months, you went into foreclosure status. There was nothing wrong with the home whatsoever. You just couldn't make the monthly payment. So the bank pretty much told you that you're in foreclosure and you have to move out. There's nothing wrong with the home. A foreclosure is saying that the balance that's still left on the home, that's what they're going to sell it for. So in reality, if, say for instance, you moved out and, you only owed, which that would be kind of a bad example, but say for instance you only owe $70,000 left on the home. I can buy your home for only $70,000 and you purchased it for $100,000. You just saved me $30,000 because you at least made a couple of payments. It could have been what you put down for down payment and all of that knocked it down to $70,000, but now I can move into your home and I only got to pay $70,000 for a home that you purchased that was originally $100,000. So a foreclosure home is not a home that's raggedy or run down or what. It's a home that somebody foreclosed on because they couldn't make the payment. So that's the misconception. There's nothing really wrong with the home. And those are actually the best homes. You have some homes that were foreclosed on that are, have a little bit of, damage to. Those are the homes that we consider our investment homes. Why won't you buy it for a cheaper amount, turn around, fix it up, and then turn around and sell it, and then you just make some money off of it? But that's the myth. They're not raggedy homes.
Yeah. Because that's what I thought. For real, because whenever you go online and go look up foreclosure homes, there's always something toe up about it, and you're looking and the tile is all toe up, and it's just a mess. But what do people usually do with foreclosure homes? Do you go in? How do you make money off of foreclosure homes?
The ones that you're trying to flip, you're gonna make money off of it because, say for instance, you buy a foreclosed home that needs some work to it and it's $50,000. And say for instance it only needs like $20,000 worth of work, where you purchased the home for $50,000. You put $20,000 off into it, you're at $70,000, of your money. And then you bring it up to market value, and say for instance the market value is $150,000. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna sell that home for $150,000. You only put $70,000 off into it. You just made $80,000 profit off of it. You see what I'm saying? So it's not always a bad thing, and that goes back to what we were saying as far as the knowledge-wise go. You can't always go by what somebody say. Even though I'm sitting in front of you and I'm telling you that it's something different, I'm a professional. And if you can bring something to me that say, hey, well, look, Kwaylon, like all of these foreclosed homes that I have seen, they're raggedy homes. So what the hell are you talking about? Then we can discuss it a little bit more in detail and go from there. You may be looking in the wrong spot. You see what I'm saying? Like, they do have websites that are nothing but foreclosed homes that need to be flipped. But a lot of foreclosed homes don't need to be flipped. They just want somebody to take over the mortgage.
Yeah, because the bank bought them and they just want their money back.
And they just want their money back. They just want somebody to take it and go from there.
I know you ain't got your phone. No, I'm playing. What are some of the benefits? Because you was one of the people that was like, hey, I want to get my house built from the ground up. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are the same way about that, because usually when you build a home from the ground up, then it's exactly how you want it.
Right.
So what are some of the benefits of building your house from the ground up versus just buying a home that's in your price range?
Because if you get it from the ground up, you're going to get what you want. That's it. Like, you know, you can walk into a place, they have tons of builders out here that you can walk into a place and you can tell them from the foundation all the way to the roof that they put on it, how you want it, how you want to walk in, what room you want to be on the right, what room you want to be on the left. When I say down to the to the knobs and the on the cabinets, to the knobs on the doors.
Yeah, like, that's a lot of money.
It really is not. So the thing is you walk into a building and you tell them, hey, this is how many rooms I want, this is the layout that I want. They'll pretty much give you the layout. Then what happens is right before you're fixing to close, then what they'll do is they'll take you to the design center and you'll be over there like 2-3 hours. And what they'll do is they have certain packages. They might have a low package, maybe $3,000-$4,000. They might have a medium package, $7,000-$8,000, and they might have an extreme package that might be $12,000 or $13,000. That's gonna go on top of the price of the home. And if it's within your budget, then it's within your budget because you're gonna get pre-approved for a certain amount. So you can't. It's not like you're gonna tack some extra money on. It's all tied into what your pre-approval amount is, okay? And then what they'll do is they'll tell you, okay, well, with this package that you pick, like with the minimum package, you might be able to only get, silver fixtures. But with the medium package, you might be able to get gold fixtures, and with the platinum package, you might be able to get platinum fixtures. So it's what you want to see. If you're going to get a house built from the ground up, then you want to make sure that you get everything that you want. And that's the woe between me and my wife, is because it's like we're in these homes all day, every day. The misconception is how are you a realtor and you don't have a home yet? I'm in a home every day, and we go places and we see these homes, and then we turn around and we have a design in mind, and then we turn around and we like, no, we're going to change that design because I just seen something the other day. I seen some granite that I ain't never seen before. You see what I'm saying? That was the misconception, and that was the problem that we was running up against. She's on the mortgage side, so she's seeing the pictures of these homes, and then she's bringing it to me. Because, we talked about the room the other day. I don't want the room to look like this no more. I want the bathroom to look like this. We seen a killer bathroom the other day. We had a plan for the bathroom that we wanted, only to turn around and find out that we want the shower to look over the tub, and we want the tub to have the jacuzzi jets in it. And originally there was, in the tub that we had looked at or we picked, it only had I think it was 8 jets or something. Now we found out that it's a jacuzzi tub that's out there that got 16 jets. We want the 16 jets. We don't want the 8 jets. But getting a home built from the ground up, you get a chance to get what you want. And depending on if you take it too far, you can get where you want it to be. There's builders that will, if you got land, that'll come and build on your land. You can be in a community. You can be on your own land. You can do whatever you choose to do. That's the perks of building from the ground up compared to if you go and get one within a community that, say, for instance, that's already built. You are either getting a spec home that the builder already built, because they'll just build a lot of homes to where people can move in, or say for instance you purchase a home that's already prefabricated. Somebody else already stayed in. You moved in, and now you moving out and you selling it. Then I'm staying in somebody else's home. Some people are cool with it. Some people just don't like it. They just can't deal with it at all. So those are the perks.
One thing that I do have is like buying lots.
Uh-huh.
What does that mean to buy a lot? So you don't own the land, do you?
Okay, so the only misconception in real estate is you'll purchase a home, and technically once you finish the mortgage, the home is yours. But
what about the land?
The land is technically yours, but due to government regulations, you'll always pay taxes on it. That's just property. So you will never not pay taxes on something. You will always pay taxes. But the difference is you may go from making a monthly mortgage payment of $1,800 every month, and then having yearly taxes of $2,000-$3,000 to once you pay the mortgage off, then the only thing that you're paying is $3,000 a year for taxes. So say for instance you finish your mortgage, and all of this time you've been paying all of this money. Now you done with the mortgage, and the only thing that you worried about every year is $3,000-$4,000 in taxes. You pay that at the beginning of the year, and you don't pay nothing else for the rest of the year because you own the home. Technically, you own the lot and you own the land per se because it belongs to you, but you're going to pay property taxes for the rest of your life. That's just something that you can't get away from.
What happens when you can't pay the property tax? Can they take the home?
There's, regulations behind it. Again, that's like another in-depth conversation. If you got issues or you got problems with, or you want to know more in detail, pick up the phone, give me a call. Because, like I said,
look at this guy.
Look
at this guy.
It's a long process because I can't really say that they can take the home, but they will. They'll try to put a lien on it, and all that, and you just don't run it. You don't want to run into none of it. You got issues, got problems. I got people for that.
Okay, so we went into real estate for homes and apartments, but what about commercial estate? Is it the same process?
It's technically the same process. It's just a little bit different. Like, you can buy commercial property, you can rent commercial property. It's just the requirements that they're looking for are just a tad bit different. Residential, you're looking at, having a job. You need employment, verifiable employment for 2 years. It don't matter if it's gaps in between there or not. They just want you to write a letter saying, why was you unemployed for, 2 months or, something like that. So you need verifiable employment for 2 years. You need a credit score of, in most cases, 620. We can get it done in some cases for as low as 580. I have lenders that can get it done for 580. And then, having a down payment and making sure, you don't have no outrageous bills or anything like that.
What's the outrageous bill to them?
So most of the time, they don't want anything more than $2,000 that you owe in collections. You don't have to be perfect when it comes to your credit. Just as long as you don't have outstanding bills in collections over $2,000. You can have some stuff in collections. Like I said, it may mess with your interest rate just a little bit, but you don't have to just be at a zero across the board. I don't owe anything. Like, I don't, I got this amount. As long as you don't have no more than $2,000 of, collection debt, then they'll still work with you. That's most lenders, 97% of the time. They'll work with you. When it comes to commercial, they kind of want to know a little bit more in detail what you're doing. They want to know, what are you, running out of this business? What are your plans for the business? Like, if you say you own a business, they're going to want some 1099. That's for residential, W-2s is going to be, your last 2 years. Yeah. For commercial, they want 1099. They want to see how much business you're bringing in. Can you afford this? Is what I'm saying, because some people might have $30,000-$40,000 to put down, but then they're gonna take your $30,000 and $40,000, and then 2 months later, it's gonna belong back to them. And the mortgage industry, the lending industry, they really don't want to take your money. They don't just want to take it and then run off. They really want to see people succeed, but you got to do it the right way. So it's the same, it's just a tad bit different.
You said something, and when you was talking about it, it kind of like struck me as that like, we want to see what you're doing. Is anybody familiar with Evans, that vacuum place in Arlington? Off of Cooper? Mm-mm. It's like a vacuum store. Mm-mm. And I don't never see nobody in there.
That's just like the one in Garland.
Yeah. So it's like, who gave him the loan? Because I don't never see nobody in there. I do not ever see nobody in Evans vacuum store. And it's like a big thing. Like,
for real?
Yeah, like they got a chain.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah, it's a chain of them, and I'm just like, okay, I don't never see nobody. I think they made like a little meme about it.
Oh, for real?
On the internet. It's like, who's keeping these people in business? Because we don't never see nobody in there.
But just like the one in Garland that's over there off of Broadway, like I said, I had never, this is even when we stayed in Garland, I had never seen nobody off in there.
Across the street from the U-Haul place?
Yeah, but come to find out, they have a huge clientele, but
who's getting the vacuum?
I don't know. I mean, my thing is, I guess they going in there after hours or something. I don't know.
I think that's a drug front.
Man,
look,
this your show. I wasn't gonna say it.
Oh, I think it's a drug front. I do, because I don't never see nobody in there either. Who's fixing the $20 carpet cleaner? Like the dirt devil. Who's fixing that? It's $20 at Walmart. Just buy a new one. I don't even call the warranty place when my vacuum break down. You know I break vacuums on a regular.
I mean, like I said, this your show. I wasn't gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it, buddy.
Okay, so what are the things we know the things that we should look for in a housing situation when it comes to buying a home or buying land or whatever? What is some of the things you should look for a commercial property?
It's practically the same, but from a business standpoint, if you're trying to get a commercial property, so therefore you don't put yourself in a bad situation, make sure that you are getting in a location that's going to help you, grow. If you're going to open up a business to where you need a storefront, make sure that you're going to be able to get the clientele to be able to come in. It's a lot of times that people go and get commercial properties and they so tucked away, nobody even sees where they are.
Yeah, like Record's Barbecue.
Yeah.
If you're not from Dallas, you don't know where the fuck Record Barbecue is.
So make sure that, you got the one, you want to make sure that you got the clientele, because if you got good clientele, people going to follow you wherever you go. Kind of like you just said with Record's Barbecue. If you know where it's at, you coming, So that's it, tucked away or not. But then also make sure that you can afford what you're getting. A lot of people, I don't know if you've ever been to places, but I've been to places that's commercial that they only use the first, maybe quarter of the building. Then the rest of it is just
there.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, then why did you go and get all of this space when you're only using the first quarter? And I know people grow, but then the thing is that you got to remember, you're still going to make a payment for that whole building. It don't matter if you're only using the first quarter or not. So those are some of the things you want to look for starting off. Make sure that you find the right space. Make sure that you got a good realtor that's going to look for the right space, because sometimes, you got some realtors that'll just tell you, hey, okay, well, what's your budget? And that's what I'm going to go for. But with me, I want to make sure that, you're using the space, entirely. But then also you want to make sure that you got your money together. You want to make sure that, now with commercial, you're not going to get none of those, down payment assistance. Just go ahead and get rid of that now. They not for work with you when it comes to, because you're a business. You're looking for a commercial place. They're not going to give you no down payment assistance. They're not going to help you with this. They're not going to help you with that. There are commercial lenders that's out there, but you're going to put a down payment down. That's just all it is to it. And you're going to have it's going to have a certain amount to it. I've never really seen a commercial building unless it's a small space to where, now we talking warehouse space now. If you got warehouse space, you're not going to get away with putting $3,000 down, $4,000 down. You're going to put $30,000, $40,000 down. But if you have something like, let's use Records for an example. If that was just an empty building, you can get away with putting like $3,000 or $4,000 down, because it's not a huge space. So just know what you need, and if you don't know what you need, I'm going to say it again, pick up the phone, give me a call.
What is, like with undeveloped cities, you're going to get a low down payment on it?
Yes.
But it's in an undeveloped city. So how do you feel about people building their businesses in undeveloped cities? What's the pros and cons of that?
Well, the pros and cons is
one of them is that you're going to get a low down payment because it's not developed.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get a low down payment, but then also the negative to it is because it's undeveloped. At first, for a while, your taxes is going to be high, because there's nothing out there. Yeah, so you got to look at it like, for a city that's supposed to be splitting taxes, you're the only one that's out there, or some of the few that's only out there. So the thing is your taxes is going to be sky high for a little bit. Once the city starts to get developed, you got to remember, everybody going to start taking a little chunk of what the city taxes is, so it'll start to lower. But then some of the pros, or the upsides to it, is you're the only one that's out there. So how you market is, I've been here before everybody else been here. I was out here, some of the few, like we said on Friday, I was out here before everybody else was out here. You see what I'm saying? So when people start moving in, say for instance, there's no Walmart out there, but like say for instance, you got like a little small, store like an Audi or something like that, where do you think people gonna go to buy groceries?
Audis.
They gonna go to, they gonna go to that
whatever,
store. Yeah.
Sammy's,
Yeah.
Sunny Up store,
Right.
or
You
whatever.
see what I'm saying? So the thing is that's the pros. You are needed, is what I'm saying. It could be a gas station. Where you think people gonna get gas? I'm not gonna chance it if I'm on E and I gotta get to work. I'm not gonna go all the way to the neighboring city just to stop at the gas station so I can get to work. I'm gonna stop right there where the gas station is. So the thing is people gonna come in there and they gonna spend their money with you. So you're marketed the correct way. So then what happens is when people start coming in, then you start getting to know them by name and all of that. Then what's gonna happen? People gonna make sure that they come to you by all means necessary. They're gonna make sure that they look out for you by all means necessary. So you are what we just talked about, a household name. So you good.
So I heard from a little birdie
Uh-huh.
that you were trying to start a program up for low-income families.
I am.
What does that entail?
So mainly,
And how did you come about that idea?
because I 2019 going into 2020, I started seeing that there's a lot of individuals that's just like, my credit is bad. I don't know what my numbers is. I don't know what, how am I supposed to go about this? And then when I tell them, then it's kind of like, okay, now I want to get the process started, but their lease is already up in 6 months, or their lease is already up in 3 months, and they don't have the time. So myself and my wife is going to start a little small program to where we're going to get individuals the knowledge that they need. This is going to be a free program because knowledge is free. Like, knowledge is key, is what I'm saying. Why am I going to charge you for the knowledge and then, I'm setting you back a little bit more than where you already are.
You're charging for the knowledge and they're already poor.
Right. So the thing is what it's going to cost you, it's going to cost you your time. It's going to cost you getting up. It's going to cost you getting dressed. And it's going to cost you getting there on time, is what I'm saying. Like, I feel like if I can help you, then the thing is you will give back eventually, whether or not you want to or whether or not you don't want to. Eventually, evolution is going to make you end up giving back, is what I'm saying. So we're starting a little program to where we're giving everybody the knowledge. If you want the knowledge, then I'm going to give you the information. It's going to help you, get you in contact with individuals with credit. It's going to give you information on how you need to start your journey as far as buying a home, is what I'm saying. Say, for instance, you already got a home, but you like, hey, I need some investment now. It's going to get you on the road to get an understanding of where you can go to, buy these foreclosed homes that we was talking about. There's a lot of individuals that know that they don't know that you can still go to the courthouse steps on every other the second Tuesday of each month, and they hold auctions down there. They still do that to this day, and I'm talking about those people are getting foreclosed homes for little or nothing. And when I say little or nothing, I'm talking about $17,000-$18,000 is what I'm saying. Like, investing. So it's just gonna help you get a leg up on the game compared to going somewhere and somebody's like, well, hey, like, I mean, I can tell you, but I mean, I'm gonna charge you for what? Like, being a realtor and giving information, this is what we do. Now, I will be honest, I've been doing this for a long time. I know the difference between when you're stringing me along and when you're really serious about whatever you're serious about. And I'm not gonna say that I don't work with people that's stringing me along, but I know when you're serious and I know when you're not. I'm not gonna give no time to an individual that's stringing me along because there's somebody else that really needs the help. So, yeah.
So all of that was very educational. I didn't have any pushback on it. And usually I like pushback. I mean, But I have a new segment. A Minute with Crowder with the 5 rapid questions.
Okay.
You want to participate?
Let's go.
All right. House by the lake or house by the beach?
House by the lake.
Your dream home in a bad neighborhood or a shack in a good neighborhood?
Dream home in a bad neighborhood.
Oh, somebody gonna rob your ass.
No.
Which is worse, telling your client that your house is haunted or telling them that they have severe foundation problems?
Telling them that the house has severe foundation problems.
If you was homeless, would you wait 5 hours every night in a place for a bed in a what's those things called?
A
shelter, or would you rough it out in a tent?
5 hours for a shelter.
Ooh. Well, who you feel most comfortable taking over your house after you die? Your daughters or your sons?
Oh, Jesus. God, that That's unrapid right there. Well, I got 5 kids, so
I know,
mean,
but you got two sons and you got 3 daughters.
Godly.
Who's gonna take care of that house when Kwaylon gone? It's an investment too.
I plead the fifth.
Nope, you gotta do it. You gotta pick.
No, 9 times out of 10, my daughters.
I know it. Daddies always pick daughters.
No, just right now. I mean,
your sons are rambunctious.
Yeah. Like right now, they just all over the place or whatever. And then because I'm business oriented, other reason why I answered that other question the way that I answered is because technically by law, you can't tell a person what's going on with a house that is not factual. So when it comes to the haunted or when it comes to the foundation, I'm gonna tell you about the foundation because it's factual. I'm not gonna tell you that joke is haunted. You see what I'm saying? One, you're not gonna sue me, and then secondly, no, that's not fixing to happen. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, so we good.
Okay, go ahead and shout out all your social media, all of your emails where people can reach you at to get all of that good information that you spewed on here.
Okay, so let me tell you guys real quick. I'm Kwaylon Crowder with Crowder Realty Group, backed by Keller Williams, Urban Dallas. You can get in contact with me, 469-383-0092, or you can email me at quayloncrowder.kw.com, or you can check out my website, quayloncrowder.kw.com. Some of my vendors that if you need them, get in contact with me, or if you want to find them on Facebook, Matt Brewer at Highland Home Loans, Justin Murch at Creative Credit Solutions, Peyton Jackson at Marco Scoring, and Colleen Jimenez at Caliber Home Loans. Anybody else, you're going to have to call me.
And that is an Hour Crowder, and we're out.
Thanks.